Welcome back to Upgrading My Life as an Ex-Alcoholic. This is the spare bedroom and this is where we left off. We have to get in order because the in-laws are coming to town this weekend and they just told us. So there's a lot of things that we've got to do that I moved in and planned on doing and lost motivation for. So first I found all the studs in the wall and re-nailed in all of the trim in the hallway because when I tell you the amount of times that none of this trim was secured, it's crazy. It's also just like ripping itself away from the wall. And I'm confused because a lot of this trim nails didn't actually help it to adhere better to the wall. So then I got into this closet, which is our only linen closet and absolutely needs to be organized, and also plan on having that done by the time this week is over, just because I'm kind of embarrassed of it at this point. And we're gonna have guests in our house. So I got some caulk because there's no other solution. The trim that they put on this home and filled in just seems like leftover random trim that clearly doesn't fit. So I got some caulk and I taught myself how to caulk today, apparently. That's what my plan was, and that's what we were doing. There's so many gaps and so many holes. This just made it look so much more crisp and clean. And if you're into a satisfying video, buckle up because this is satisfying. I just applied the caulk and then allowed a wet washcloth to glide over it. At some points I used my finger just to make sure it was really adhered, but I always went back over it with a towel just to make sure that I was getting any residue off the wall off. This was actually so satisfying and so fun to do that I ended up pretty much caulking anything I could in our house while I had the caulk gun out. There was a lot in the basement that needed to be done as well. This is still just the hallway, okay? But also the guest room that they're staying in. The trim, there's just an issue with the trim. I don't understand. I think it's because that side of the house is on a hill and it's genuinely separating from the foundation. Thank goodness we didn't buy this house. Not that we were planning to. We were always going to rent it, but I digress. Look how big this gap is. Look how big this hole is. After I went through and found the studs and nailed it in, it didn't even budge. So I filled this in because I don't know, this gap doesn't need to be here, you know? And I honestly don't think anyone is ever going to redo the trim, but if someone ever does, they'll just have to break the seal of the caulk, and I feel like this was a good fix. My landlord doesn't mind if I'm doing upgrades to the home as long as I'm not being destructive, so keep that in mind. Not everyone's landlord is the same. Honestly, he's so blind, I don't even think that he will notice this and or appreciate it because I don't even think he'll realize that it's been done. Our in-laws have actually never stayed with us before because of just personal beliefs and like just different things, and I've actually never had anyone of like a high regard or opinions I've cared about, honestly. Stay with me. So the pressure is on for this to be perfect, and I want to go shopping and get them a bunch of toiletries and really nice things to set on their bed. And we have a bed coming, and I'm debating getting a bed frame, and I can't wait to show you guys all the furniture and things that I'm putting in this room. So I'm also getting like a little clothing rack. Look how separated this is. This is the bedroom. Like, it's just crazy. There was no difference made when I nailed the nails in. But anyway, this is a very satisfying clip if you're into satisfying videos, in my opinion, because it just looks so much better today. But I'm gonna go through and paint all the trim today as well. And I'm hoping to be able to get to the store because I really want to do some shopping for this room, like I was telling you about. But I have like a clothing rack so that they can put their clothes on it. They're actually only staying 1 full day and a half. So just based on their flights and everything and just how it worked out for them, they're driving from Montana to Colorado and then flying from Colorado to here because they're dropping their dogs off in Colorado with their daughter so they can go to the vet, and then they're coming here, and then we're hanging out and trying to get as much time in with them as we can. You guys, time is so valuable with your loved ones. His parents are genuinely some of the most genuine people I've ever met. What you see is what you get with them, and what you get is pure kindness and just their undivided attention anytime you're speaking, never being interrupted, never being insulted, no passive aggressiveness, no backhandedness. And I feel like that is so rare in this world to find. And we just want to soak up all the time we can with them. My boyfriend really wants to move closer to them, but it just hasn't been feasible yet this far, so maybe one day. I ended up doing the bathroom too. Here is the after shot. I think it looks so much better, and I'm gonna paint all the trim now, so stay tuned, and stay tuned for all the decorations and the fun stuff.